Chairman Crawford and Ranking Member Norton for holding this hearing today. Grateful to be able to continue to talk about the transformative impacts of the bipartisan infrastructure law and how we are implementing it with great administrative, sometimes great and sometimes not so great. One thing I would like to talk about as a member of this committee, Ohio, we call ourselves the heart of it all. You can get to most of the country and Canada within an 8 hours drive, but we are also always concerned about the fact whether people are able to travel in and out of our state safely. And want to just make sure, as we're talking about these administrative rules, we are keeping safety in mind. If people are not able to make it in and out of my state as they are traveling through commerce for vacation, for leisure, we really are not doing something correct. But I do want to direct our attention elsewhere for my questions, and specifically around some workforce conversations. So following the enactment of the bipartisan infrastructure law, Transportation for America released an article highlighting the need for workforce development as our nation and our transit systems recover from the COVID pandemic and the role that the bipartisan infrastructure law has played in the process. One of those programs is the low and no emission in bus facilities program, and among the requirements, the no-low program requires grantees spend 5% of the award money on workforce development training, including apprenticeships and other labor management training programs. So Ms. Osborne, as you've seen these grant programs, such as this one, improve our nation's workforce, or how have you seen it, and what can we do to make it better if it is not already working at the top of its ability?
Thank you for your question. There is greater flexibility in the utilization of federal funds for workforce development than I think a lot of agencies are aware. There's a lot more we can do to not just show them how they might utilize that flexibility, but some of the most effective ways to do so. I think we could do a lot more to share workforce development successes across the country rather than have everyone trying to reinvent the wheel, so to speak, in every place. But one thing we're doing now is analyzing the spending to date across the board in terms of IIJA spending to get a better sense of what we have gotten for expenditures.
Thank you, Ms. Osborne. And if you could elaborate a little bit more about some of the recommendations that you have to improve this so that we can have that information and perhaps act on it.
I am certainly happy to share any lessons we learn in doing analysis, particularly with regard to workforce. We don't have any particular recommendations on that today, but as we finish our analysis, I'd be happy to work with you going forward.
Thank you very much. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentleman yields. Mr. Webster.